Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network, now with a check of your Midwest sheep and goat market for the week ending February the 18th. The Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report is brought to you by Moline Seed and Fence, proud to sponsor the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Moline Seed and Fence is your local dealer for Riviera custom gates, goat and sheep pens, along with Mountain View sheep and goat equipment. Check it all out when you visit their website, MolineSeedandFence.com. That's MolineSeedandFence.com. Thank you to Moline Seed and Fence for sponsoring the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Now, for the week ending February 18th, the market pretty easily across the board, $10 to $30 a hundredweight higher. The midweight slaughter, lamb, and goat market, the strongest market of the week. That helps disprove last week's hypothesis we were talking about of a slowing ethnic market, so that's very positive to see. We'll see if this pattern could hold over the next several weeks, but it looks like there is a possibility it can. The weather, again, uncooperative to ranchers as we saw another cold blast with plenty of snow moving across parts of the high plains. They're in western through central Kansas into parts of Nebraska, catching some snow. Moisture a little further south into Oklahoma and Texas as well. Thankfully, though, the cold didn't last. Sunshine, warm temps helping to start the melting process here by the end of the week and weekend. As we start going out, though, the extended forecast slowly turning more friendly to the plain states and points further to the east. Essentially, much of the area the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report covers. So with that type of optimism, we are starting to see some stronger sales of breeding livestock. This week in particular, though, really kind of focusing in on some ewes in South Dakota as well as some trades there in Iowa when it comes to the breeding stock. So glad to see it, though. There's somebody that's got some optimism out there. They think that things are going to return like we talked in last week's report. If you didn't catch it, go back and listen, but we did get out the USDA sheep and goat herd numbers, where the U.S. currently stands in terms of a herd size, and we saw some significant shrink in both the sheep and goat herd. So that's, I think, we're going to put a premium now back on breeding stock, especially if we break into a wetter cycle. It's going to offer some more pasture and cheaper feed resources for folks to be able to rebuild those herds. So that's, again, maybe just a tipping point here on the breeding side of the market. Other data this week that impacted the trade pretty thin. From a consumer standpoint, we did get out data that showed that the consumers are continuing to buy. They've got a lot of purchasing power. They're aggressively spending that money. Unfortunately, though, it's also coming is that a lot of consumers are financing that lifestyle. Consumer debt across all categories reached a record $16.9 trillion this week, up $1.3 trillion from last year. So the increase of credit comes even more rapidly as interest rates are rising. They're having, they're paying the interest on it, but they may not be paying down the debt. So that is a concern going forward. But right now, the market's not too concerned with that, especially here at the small ruminant level. So we'll let the market deal with that on another day. We're just going to focus on the higher trade this week. If you're looking for ethnic holidays in 2023, Ramadan, month of fasting, coming up March 22nd through April 20th, Passover April 5th, and Roman Easter April 9th, Orthodox Easter April 16th. Run down some highlighted quotes on the sales this week. In Centennial Livestock, Colorado, 25 head of 91-pound slaughter wool lambs for $235 a hundredweight or $214 a head. Centennial also sold 50 head of running age 2 to 4 year old exposed wool ewes. They were brought a $248 a head average, but the upper end of them brought $260 a head. Kelowna, Iowa, sold 82 head of 57-pound feeder wool lambs. Likely, though, I think these went over into the slaughter side given the price that they brought, so maybe a little more of that ethnic-driven market. But 57-pound feeders brought $335 a hundredweight. That's $191 a head. Kelowna also sold 110 head of 54-pound hair lambs for $262.50 a hundredweight. That's $142 a head. Kelowna, though, on the goat market, 70 head, 56-pound slaughter goats. Not sure if they were withers and does, just withers, but they didn't report sex on them. But again, 70 head, 56 pounds. They average $396 a hundredweight, $222 a head. The upper end of that draft sold for $433 a hundredweight. That's $242.50 a head. So a very strong market there. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock sold 106 head of the heavy wool lambs, 133 pounds. They brought $135 a hundredweight or $180 a head. Sioux Falls also sold 29 head of 63-pound hair lambs for $265 a hundredweight or $167 a head. Producers Livestock San Angelo, Texas sold 67 head of 77-pound wool lambs for $281 a hundredweight or $216 a head. Producers also sold 432 head of 55-pound hair lambs for $299 a hundredweight or $164 a head. The upper end of the draft brought $329 a hundredweight or $181 a head, and producers sold 21 head of 75-pound open replacements for $200 a head. Got to cut out the grain and the hay markets this week. Just didn't have enough time to get those run down and brought back in for the report. For lamb slaughter, that was estimated 37,000 head through Saturday, an increase of 2,000 head from last week, 5,000 head more than a year ago. Really positive to see that we're keeping pace on this slaughter market. We'll get out cold storage here in the next week or so, and that'll be interesting to see. Are we putting these excess slaughter lambs, are we putting them into cold storage, or are they going into the retail market? I think that'll be a key thing to watch for. But year-to-date lamb slaughter, 233,000 head. We're up 8% already, or 17,000 head more than we were a previous year. And live lamb weights are holding good, 128 pounds live. That's down 2 pounds, up 2 pounds from last week, still down 3 pounds from last year. On the rail, lambs weighing 65 pounds in the carcass. That is up 1 pound from last week, still down a pound from last year. Here's your regional sales price report on the wool lambs, 20 to 40 pounds, $275 to $335 a hundredweight, 40 to 70 pounds, $150 to $281 a hundredweight, 70 pounds and up, $150 to $235 a hundredweight. Hair lambs, 20 to 40 pounds, $250 to $320 a hundredweight, 40 to 70 pounds, $175 to $329 a hundredweight, 70 pounds and up, $140 to $240 a hundredweight. On the wool ewes, the stocker ewes, $220 to $260 a head, slaughter ewes, $50 to $140 a hundredweight, and on the slaughter wool rams, $60 to $140 a hundredweight. Hair ewes, the replacement quality, $135 to $220 a head, $220 a head, slaughter ewes at $65 to $130 a head, hair rams, $85 to $183 a hundredweight. Back over to the kid goats, 20 to 40 pound kid goats, $250 to $400 a hundredweight, 40 to 70 pound kid goats, $225 to $433 a hundredweight, 70 pounds and up, $220 to $305 a hundredweight. On the withers, 70 pounds and up, $170 to $275 a hundredweight. Over on the does, the slaughter does, medium to fleshy, $117 to $250 a head. Replacement quality does, though, $125 to $270 a head. And on the slaughter bucks, $160 to $264 a hundredweight. And that is a look here at your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Have a great day, great week, and we look forward to talking to you next week.